Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver and welcome back to It's the Haru arc. What are we doing today? I don't know. We're just kind of hanging out. It's Friday. And yeah, it is Friday. That is the day that it is. True and or real. So, you know, we're Haru gaming, of course. And I'm thinking of what kind of run that we want to do. So we've done the small candle. We fought White Death, and then we did like a Timeline B Knight Errant. So let's just go ahead and well, let's take it easy, all right? Let's just take it easy. Let's take it easy on the Haru arc. We'll do. Well, why don't we try Scars? I haven't done Scars in a hot minute, and I do like all perks just because it's like. I really don't want to do, like, 80 episodes of Haru-exclusive perks, if you know what I mean. Like, that's pretty much the only reason I've gravitated towards all perks so much. Is that sometimes you want to experience other game mechanics other than things are cheaper and you do 1 more damage. Which, you know, Haru can already do +1 damage very easily. But you know what I can't do easily? Remember my second mystery and enemy. Charisma is doable, Light Source, and then Dexterity and maybe Strength. So, the bottom 2, Dexterity and Charisma, and then Light Source, and then your seconds? What the hell is that, man? I don't like that. That's kind of stinky, honestly. I'm not looking forward to that, because that basically means we either need to get a flashlight or we need to go heavy-duty flashlight. Or we could potentially get a torch as well. This is Timeline B. Well, you know, it's possible to get the torch through the school as well, but that's less likely to happen. I'm probably gonna go... I'm trying to think, like, should I go for the monkey wrench, or should I just use a brick? Like, I'm trying to think if I should get this money or not. Let's go ahead and take a look. If we actually have Violent Vigil, I'll go for a Meat Cleaver, honestly. We do not. Do we have mermaids? No, we don't. Okay, so probably gonna skip Wordless Ward, I'll be real with you. This is a weird one. I'll be honest, this is a weird one. It's a weird mystery spread. We'll probably start with Freaky Feature. Probably. But I'm trying to think, like, what weapon do I want to get? And, you know, I'm thinking about it, and it's like, I don't really want to take the money here, because unless we have something to sell, we're not going to be able to be at, like, 0 funds for trying to get as many Jar of Bloods as possible to, you know, encourage Smonk generation. So I'm trying to think, like, not getting a starting item is the thing that's making this complicated here. I think... I mean, we did have School Scissors, right? So we could do School Scissors first, get the baseball bat, sell that. That's a little bit weird, but maybe I shouldn't... You know what? We're not going to take it. But that is the... We are going to do School Scissors of all things first, which I'm not entirely happy about, necessarily, but, you know, it is what it is. I had a weird thing happen earlier, alright? I was trying to airbrush, and for some reason, and it's not the PSI, it's not the thin, well, maybe it is the thin and or thickness of the paints, but it was really strange, right? So, no matter what I do with a regular paint, it splatters and does that, like, really bad, like, splattering, so it's impossible to get a thin coat. Or not a thin coat, but, like, an actual, like, uniform coat, and it just looks really bad. And it doesn't matter, like, if I thin the paints a little bit, thin the paints a lot, don't thin the paints, it just didn't really work at all. But for some reason, inks work relatively fine. And so I've been doing what I can with just inks, and I thought, oh, you know, I only have a few, what are they called? FW inks. I have like a couple of Liquitex and then like a few FW inks, like Daler Rowney, I think they're called. I have like maybe 5 or 6 of them, and I was like, oh, you know, a lot of these colors don't mix very well together, and I can't really like darken any of the colors. I can only brighten them because I've got the Daler and Rowney white ink or whatever. So I was a little bit disappointed about that, right? But then I remembered that a while ago I got some of Green Stuff World's intensity inks. So I've been using those, and those are like, you know, I've got the dark brown, the dark purple, the dark green, the dark blue. So that opens up so many, that opens up so many new things that I can do. And like, again, it's like any normal paint. Oh god, no, hold on. Pretty much like any paint just doesn't work, but I have no problem with inks. And I tried various different PSIs, like 20, 30, 40, still had the same effect no matter what I did. So I think there might be a part of my airbrush that's like broken or something. Normally when my airbrush stops working properly, I just disassemble it and clean it, but that wasn't working, right? And so when disassembling your airbrush and cleaning it doesn't work, I genuinely feel like I like bent something there or something. But I'm not knowledgeable enough about how airbrushes work to be able to say why. I just know that it's happening and I don't know how to diagnose it, because normally my flow chart for airbrush problems is disassemble, clean, reassemble. It works now, but now it's not. So maybe I reassembled it incorrectly, or I like damaged a part or bent the needle. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But basically I'm limited to just working with inks for now, because just using regular paint just doesn't work at all. First enemy, by the way. And so, bow. And so yeah, it's a little bit weird, but okay, young witch confirmed. Second enemy? For real? For real. Uh-oh. So that's not good. She would be doing 4 to all, by the way, if we didn't have scars. But, I mean, still, like, this is still really bad, I will admit. But, like, here's the thing. Even though I'm limited in this weird way and I don't understand why or how, I actually got pretty excited because I started like mixing inks. I started mixing inks to make the colors that I wanted. Oh, that's unfortunate, by the way. So it was a bow. No, wait, was it a clap? Bow clap? I'm not entirely sure, honestly. I wasn't really. I'm always bad about remembering that. But just remember young witch and you'll probably be fine. You're not gonna. Like, I'm pretty sure it was a bow, clap, bow, clap. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what it was, but I'm not even gonna try it. Like, don't even worry. Like, it's never happening. But, do I want to do? Yeah, let's do Fear Festival. Why not? We can heal up pretty well. And unfortunately, the wooden bat I think is still probably better. I'm not entirely sure, but like I started having a lot of fun because I was just mixing a bunch of inks and I was trying them out, and it was just a spur of the moment thing. I had like a broadside sitting around, and I was like, you know what? I really do need to figure out a Zenithal highlighted broadside, and I was like, you know what? I really need to like actually figure out how I'm gonna paint my Tau, because I already know like the theme of what I'm gonna do with my Tau. I bought this, like, ultraviolet clear resin from Green Stuff World a while back, and I'm gonna try to make, like, Water World Tau. And so, originally I was thinking, like, a gray to kind of make the mechs try to look like statues, but I decided to mess around with some turquoise, what is it, the Thalassian green? Is that what it's called? I don't remember. It's like Thalassian green, turquoise, and, like, white. And the Thalassian green, there's two kinds. There's the blue shade and the yellow shade. I had the blue shade, and so I sprayed, like, the shadows of the broadside with just the Thalassian green. Then I mixed in the Thalassian green and the turquoise, and then I got everywhere else with that, and then I mixed the turquoise with the white ink and just kind of sprayed it from above. And it was a really nice gradient, right? Like, it was actually a really fun gradient that I liked a lot. And so I'm definitely gonna... Like, here's the thing. It actually ended up giving me the effect... I'm gonna go brighter for the Grey Knights, but it, like, for those of you who remember the Scotland arc, I started a small Grey Knights army. And one of the things to that was I wanted to, like, the way that I painted my Grey Knights. Do I want to do I want to do 80-80? Probably just rather do 70. That worked out. If it missed, it would have sucked, but you know, it was fine. But I painted my Grey Knights with a very, like, light blue. If that makes sense, like a very pale light blue. And the problem that I had with them is I liked how they looked, but they didn't have, like, a lot of depth. You know, they were like a flat, not necessarily like a pastel color, but they were just like a really flat color, you know? And I liked what the color looked like, but the problem that I had was it was just like, how do I put it? So it's gonna do 2, and this is doing 12. So we can either take 4% Doom or 4% Doom. I wonder what I'm going to take, you know? That's crazy. But, yeah, no, it looked, like, I liked how they looked, but I wanted more depth to them, right? And so I tried to use Contrast Aethermatic Blue, which I really like. Okay, Aethermatic Blue as a contrast paint. It was actually really weird. The GW store manager, when I was in Scotland, he was telling me, like, he was warning me, like, hey, Aethermatic Blue is kind of a weird paint. Like, it's a good paint, but if you're looking for a contrast paint, this might not be what you're looking for. And I'm like, nah. I want to try the Aethermatic Blue, you know? Because, I mean, it's a blue contrast paint. I like the general color of it. And, like, I really like the effect. But I couldn't really... I didn't really know how to use it, I guess you could say, in a way that, like, I liked it. And it turns out that the Thalassian green-blue shade basically is the exact same thing. They like, when I sprayed the Thalassian green-blue shade over over my Grey Knights, it looked like I was literally just using Aethermatic Blue on them. But, you know, because I couldn't use the contrast. Well, actually, maybe I could use contrast paint. I don't know. Like, again, I only really tried, like, scale 75 paints and then the inks. Because I did, like, I wanted to do, like, a test spray with the ink. I got baited, right? I wanted to do a test spray with the paint because, like, I was having issues with paintbrush, so I cleaned it, reassembled it, and then I was like, okay, what do I want to use as, like, the test? And I was like, oh, I'm going to use ink, because ink is really easy to... You don't have to thin it, and it cleans. Like, you can clean your airbrush really easily and very quickly after using ink. So, you know, I just, like, did some white ink, used it, it looked perfect. I'm like, okay, great. So I then cleaned it, and then put my, like, the scale 75 paint in there. And then it was spiderwebbing. It wasn't really spiderwebbing, sorry. It was just, like, it was the splatter thing. Like, it looked like you had, like, a paintbrush and you were, like, flicking the paint onto the model, right? Like the blood technique that people do sometimes. Something like that, right? But anyways, it was, I'm gonna, have we... Okay, the roads aren't closed yet, but the thing is, like, I'm a little scared of our, like, survivability, if that makes sense. So I think I would rather, yeah, we can TV terror gaming, I think. I think that's fine. Although, I'm gonna switch to the steak knife, and I'm gonna sell the wooden bat, and we're gonna go buy some smonks. Thank you, Irizumi, for showing up, even on an all-perks run. It's always appreciated. It's a very good perk, in the context of what we're doing here. I mean, you have to go for the strength check there. You got 9 strength to mess around with. But yeah, no, it was like I like scale color 75. Like, it took forever for the paint to get here when I ordered them from scale 75, because I think scale 75 is across the pond, as it were. But like, no, I'm actually really happy with it. It's just I don't like, I haven't done much brush painting at all, if that makes sense. Like, pretty much all the progress that I've made is with an airbrush. And the thing is, like, making progress with the airbrush feels so good, because you get these, like, smooth... Why am I bracing for impact? It doesn't matter. You get these, like, such smooth color transitions that it's like... It just feels like you're making so much progress instantaneously, and it just feels good, right? Like, it just feels good. It doesn't necessarily... Like, I hate doing base coats with a paintbrush, because I don't have the patience for it. Ooh, absolutely not. Get me the hell out of here. I don't have the patience for it, because you basically take the model, you make it look ugly, you wait for it to dry, and then you just trust the process, right? And I don't know, like, I just don't like it. Like, I don't like it. I think it makes it look like... I hate base coating regularly. And so, if I could just move to doing all my base coating with, you know, an airbrush, I would like that, but I can't do that now. And I need to figure out how to fix it, because I can't prime, like, with a rattle can. So I need to, like, that's why I got an airbrush in the first place, was to use it as primer. So I was thinking, like, maybe I'll pick up that, like, I mean, it would be more expensive than 20 bucks, because, like, the shipping, but maybe get, like, that $20 Green Stuff World airbrush, just to, you know, get something that can be used as, like, a primer, and then just do all my base coating with inks, until I can figure out a more permanent solution, which is, like, it sounds really scuffed, honestly. Ooh, strength is in play. That doesn't really... It mostly is a Doom consideration, not a stat consideration, because we're never taking on the Spiral Hoodie. But, like, how do I put it? It was, like, I was thinking about just getting that Green Stuff World, like, $20 airbrush. Because, yeah, you know, like, is it good? Probably not. But if I could just have something that could do primer... And admittedly, okay, I haven't tried priming through the airbrush yet, but I think that primer is, like, thicker than, like, regular paint, right? Is that correct? So I would imagine that if the reason why is... Oh, but I don't even know why. Like, I genuinely don't know why, but I can't get a smooth coat from, like, regular paint, so I don't know if I'm gonna try. But I don't know, like, it's a very weird thing to think about, because it's like, I don't have, like, my friends who hobby, not big airbrush gamers, not big airbrush gamers, and obviously, like, going to my own local, like, gaming store, you know, they're not selling you, well, specifically my local GW, they're not selling you an airbrush, they're not selling you an air compressor, they don't really care, right? Like, they got, you know, they can answer any question you have about painting, like, with a brush, but on a mini. But an airbrush, like, I don't know. I guess I just don't have that airbrush lifeline, if that makes sense. To where I could be like, hey, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Because the internet just says that I need to change my PSI and then it will all be good, copium. You know what? Yeah, sure. Let's just go absolutely sicko mode, you know? And by that, I mean, I'll probably block once, because I would rather take 1 reason damage instead of, 2, you know? Now, missing twice, hurts a little bit, you know, just a little bit. We do a little trolling. Okay, you know, we can just miss. That's fine. We can just do a little miss. That's okay. Not really worried about that. I mean, I am, because we have scars, so that's quite a lot of our health, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm worried about our doom, but I can't take damage here. Are you crazy? I gotta get out of this goddamn mystery. Yo, Lumpy Officer, my dude, my boy. Okay, so these all have to hit, and we can only buff up one of them. So I'm gonna block. I'm gonna block once. Like, I know that's kinda lame, but at the same time, it's like, if we get hit for 3 here, we're not having a good time. If we get hit for 3, we're not having a... Please let me leave this mystery immediately. I have my build. I can fight the Rebel flagship now. I don't need to be here anymore. Ah, shit. We forgot the detergent. Oh, yo, let's go! We're pogging, we're pogging. But, yeah, no, it's been interesting. Like, I just need to make sure that I can prime somewhere. Like, so I need to be able to prime. Like, that's... Like, listen, I have so many... Yeah, you know, there's a YouTuber whose motto is Slay the Gray. Listen, I'm doing a terrible job of that. Like, a lot of my stuff is gray. Like, ironically, the Gray Knights have been one of the only things that I painted in so long. And I haven't even finished fully painting the Gray Knights as a force. It's just, like, 2 squads and, like, an HQ. You know, so it's like... I mean, that's more progress than I made in the last, like, 6 years. So that's cool. Like, a few years ago, you know what my progress was? I painted 1 orc. And that's a good orc. I still like that guy. He's cool. But, you know... Okay, we cannot kill in 1 turn, so let's just, I feel like we can glitch this. You're goddamn right we can. And then we'll give him we'll give him a chance, you know. Now hold on a minute. There we go. Oh my god, we missed like 3 attacks. That's terrifying. Don't ever do that again, you piece. Lucky? That's not lucky. That's quite the opposite of lucky. What did we get? Innsmouth look? That's okay. We got a brick, too. That's pretty cool. And we got a level up. Oh, boy. Garbage, garbage, garbage. I love these choices. I don't know. We'll just mess up that one enemy specifically who decides to get in our way. That we decide to throw a brick at him. The no Kazumi Gambit. Let's go. Not that we even had an opportunity to even, like, get Kazumi as a character. That was incredible that we failed that. We had 8 charisma, we rolled a 12. If we succeeded that charisma check, we would have lost sanity. But since we failed it, we gained reason, which is such a bizarre thing to happen. Here's the thing. One of the things that I could have done is I could have given my EXP and then bought another packet of smonks. We don't need that. We're almost done with the mystery. We don't have Takashi, I don't think. And even then, it's like, we have a brick, just in case Takashi decides to be a little, you know, sus. But, you know, and here's the thing, it's really kind of weird. Like, the painting, like, I've made a lot of painting progress today by starting to repaint my Grey Knights to give them, like, a color transition and some, like, depth to their paint job. Jesus Christ. Thank God the lighthouse is not gonna kill us. But, yeah, it's like... It's very weird that, like, the most painting progress I've made in months is just repainting something that I already had. Like, that kind of feels bad to an extent, but it's very exciting to see it come together, and I like it a lot more. It is weird that I'm basically going to be painting my Grey Knights and my Tau the exact same way, though, but that's fine. That's fine. It's not like I'm going to pit my armies against each other, so there's going to just be, like, 2 turquoise factions fighting each other at the same time, you know? It's like, these are my armies that are, like, going to go against other people's armies, so it's like, you know, it is what it is. But figuring out how to prime, that's the important part. Like, I mean, I have some Rust-Oleum cans lying around somewhere, but I don't know... The thing is, I haven't had to prime outdoors in so long that I've forgotten all of, like, you know, what temperature or humidity I should and shouldn't do it at, and it's like, I'll probably figure it out. It'll be fine. But I bought some, I've been going through Noble Knight games recently. I didn't even, oh my god, I didn't even look at the lighthouse. Oh my god. I'm just gonna rest twice. I'm just gonna rest twice, because, like, I'm pretty sure there was a light source, right? Second mystery was... It was Fear Festival, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. That's really weird. Yeah, you know, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Reporter's bag gaming. But, yeah, no, like, this is just BM at this point. Like, I literally went in without even confirming the sigils. But, you know, like, I've been going through Noble Knight games recently, because they're basically like a miniature... A reseller is probably the wrong word, but they're basically a store where it's like, you can sell them your thing, and then they'll sell it for, like, a cheaper price than the market. So they recently got a restock of, like, some Malifaux stuff, and I've been wanting to try Malifaux for a while. So I got the... I don't actually remember what faction they were, but it's like the performers. That's their key. That's what matters, is their keyword. You build your army based on your army's master has a keyword, and you get bonuses and buffs for hiring people with the same keyword. You can technically make any list that you want, but it's gonna be more expensive to, like, mix and match, like, outside of your keyword, so that's at least what I've heard. I highly doubt anybody watching this actually plays Malifaux, because I don't know, like, you know, Warhammer 40k's got decent game in town, you know, quite a lot of people play that. I have literally never heard of someone ever playing Malifaux. Admittedly, you know, for a couple of years there was the whole, like, you know, global hootenanny, things were locked down, and that's probably a significant portion as to probably why. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I don't know if my local hobby stores that aren't GW, well, obviously not GW because it's a separate game, but, like, I don't know if any of them carry Malifaux. I didn't see any of them carrying Malifaux when I was last in there, like, a year ago. So fair enough, right? Like, fair enough, but, you know, the goal, and I'm not going to do this until I have this core box that I got, and then have that fully painted. But what the goal is, I want to get the what is it, like, the gremlins from the bayou, and then the performers. There's a couple more performer boxes that I want to get, but, like, I want to get 2 Malifaux armies so that I can, you know, basically get my friends to play it with me, because I don't think there's a chance in hell I would be able to play Malifaux if I don't do that. But the models are just cool, right? So it's like, you're paying money to have a good time with plastic sprues that you're never gonna touch, and they're gonna sit in the box for 5 years, and then you're gonna get them, and then you're gonna be like, oh shit, that's right, I bought a Malifaux box. That's just what the pile of shame do. I'm trying to get through as many of them as possible. I'm trying to build more. I'm trying to paint more. It's a process in and of itself, and it's not easy to always do, but hey, you know what? I'm gonna try to get through the backlog, and by backlog, I mean, it's called a pile of shame, but it's more like a pile of fun, you know? Because there's things that they inspire you, they intrigue you, you spent... Listen, Warhammer is expensive, alright, but miniature hobbying just in general is really expensive. It's like, you saw that thing, and it excited you enough that you bought it, right? And so it's still exciting to look at those boxes, you just never put them together, right? So you have these things waiting for you, and they're really enjoyable, and they're really fun. And of course, you know, why it is called, like, the pile of shame is that, like, you're gonna not work on it and you're gonna put it off for like a couple months, and then something new's gonna come out and you're like, oh shit, I gotta get this new thing, look at how cool this is, and then you throw that new thing into the pile of shame as well, and then that's sitting there. Some of it is psychological, right? I've talked about this before. Like, I don't want to touch my Kingdom Death minis. I would ruin them. They're too beautiful. They're too limited. They're too scarce. Like, I can't get replacements for any of this shit. If I, paint, what is it, Slender Man or Spidocles or the Lonely Tree, if I paint those in a way to where they don't look good and I'm not satisfied with them, or if I make a modeling mistake and, God forbid, break one of the precious pieces, I can't replace that. I can't go call up Adam Poots and say, "Ayo, man, can I get a can I get these like replacement bits for an expansion that's been sold out for 4 years?" That scares the shit out of me, man. I'm not like, the Kingdom Death stuff can stay in the pile of shame as far as I'm concerned. It's the foundation of that thing. Like, I don't want to touch that shit. Like, if I break a piece of, like, a cow thing or a Grey Knight thing, who cares? Who gives a shit? But, like, it's getting my heart rate up just thinking about it. Like, oh my god. Like, of course, that it probably doesn't make sense if you're thinking about it, because, like, you bought it, so you should use it. And you're correct. You're correct. I wasted a lot of money on that, and it's just sitting there collecting dust. But here's the thing. It's exciting to think about. It's something to... It's a goal to work towards, building up that painting and building confidence. Which, here's the thing. It's not necessarily about skill, if that makes sense. It's just that I do the hobby at such a irregular pace as to I'm never confident in, like, alright, I know what I'm doing, I'm going in, it's always like, oh god, it's like, whenever you want to do a hobby thing, you're like, oh hey, I should try this, I should try to build or paint this, and then it's like, oh, but what if I mess it up? What if I mess it up? Then my investment is ruined. Which, I don't have that mental block on pretty much anything but Kingdom Death, exclusively because Kingdom Death is something that you literally can't replace, right? Like, yeah, I can't, it's true, you can't replace it. Like, I bought a couple Creature Caster models. If I mess those up, that's fine. It's like, yeah, they're really fancy models, and my paint job is not gonna do them justice, but the thing is, it's like, they're available, right? Like, I could save up money for, like, 8 months, because, Creature Caster hit a little different, but, like, I could save up a bunch of money, I could get the model again, right? Like, it's gonna be there. But, like, Kingdom Death, where it's like, oh shit, that's that model right there, oh, that's the Halloween special edition model that it hasn't been reprinted in 3 years. It's like, oh. But, yeah, anyways, I'm gonna end the episode now. Stay safe out there, have a good one, bye!